The kingdom of God will be taken away from you, and given to a nation producing the fruits of it. Matt 2143 Street. Paul said in anguish over his kinsmen, the Jewish people. For not all who are descended from Israel belong to Israel, and not all are children of Abraham because they are his descendants. It is not the children of the flesh who are the children of God, but the children of the promise are reckoned as descendants. Rom 96-8. Indeed, the people who became centrally responsible for the providence, in the age of the prolongation of the providence of restoration, were not the Jews but rather the Christians. They assumed the mission to accomplish God's unfulfilled providence of restoration. Accordingly, the history of Christianity provides the source material for understanding providential history in this age. In this sense, the descendants of Abraham in the Old Testament age may be referred to as the first Israel, and the Christians in the New Testament age may be called the second Israel. 1. When we compare the Old Testament to the New Testament, the 5 books of the Law Genesis to Deuteronomy, the 12 books of history Joshua to Esther, the 5 books of poetry and wisdom Job to the Song of Solomon, and the 17 books of prophecy Isaiah to Malachi in the Old Testament, correspond to the Gospels, Acts, the letters of the Apostles and Revelation, respectively. However, while the books of history in the Old Testament record most of the 2,000-year history of Israel, the book of Acts records only the history of the earliest Christians in the generation after Jesus' death. To find historical records pertaining to God's work of restoration in the New Testament age, with a scope comparable to those found in the Old Testament, we must consult an edition. The entire history of Christianity from Jesus' time to the present day. On this basis, we can compare the histories of the first and second Israels and their impact on the character of each period. In the 2 providential ages, recognizing a pattern of parallel periods, we come to know more clearly that history has been shaped by the systematic and lawful providence of the living God.